and we partnered up with a company that built some for us. Good machine, everybody was happy with them, but we got some feedback, and we always like to improve our product. So we sent our product manager, our tractor product manager, out and did what we called a voice of customer. And he picked people all over the US who had operated ours and our competitors' machines in the past. And they told him everything they liked about specific machines, everything they didn't like about specific machines. We took all that information and came up with this machine. And we've had nothing but fantastic feedback about this machine ever since we came out with it. I believe this first came out in 2007, if I'm correct. If you'll notice, the reason I asked them to leave the engine compartment, one of the comments from our voice of customer studies was serviceability. We don't want to have to disassemble this to get to this, to get to this. We'd like to be able to get into the engine compartment, you know, to do our daily routine maintenance and anything major that could happen. So I can probably fit about 3 of you inside here along with the engine. It's very serviceable. This cap, I'm probably not going to do it right now, but if you unscrew this and unscrew on the other side, you take that, you thread it into here just to hold it in place so you don't lose it in the dirt. There's a button over there. This cab hydraulically tilts forward, and you can get to anything under the cab as well. Serviceability, 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 we heard time and time again. So we definitely listened and designed this machine with serviceability in mind. Some other aspects of the design, people like loader arm machines. The ability to reach up into a tree and then come down on it, so you've got the ground holding it in place. The PTOs are great, but you got to kind of run into it, knock it over, and mulch it as it's knocked over. With this, you can reach up pretty high into the tree, fell the top out of it, and you got the ground holding the rest of the tree. So you don't have to use the ground as an anvil. The ground's got a hold of the tree for you. So loader arms were important. It's a very unique loader arm design. This machine is capable of running skid steer attachments. It's a skid steer quick attach plate on the front. You can put skid steer attachments on it, it'll run those. However, if you're going to spend the money on this machine, I suggest you're going to run the mulcher more than anything else. Machine's not cheap to design, it's not cheap to build, but when productivity is an issue or a key, this will, I tell people that this will do about what you're used to 2 to 3 Bull Hogs on compact track loaders or skid steers. When I tell people that, they come back and tell me I'm way low. So we'll see what your guys' opinion on this. Daniel's gonna hop in and operate for us. Another thing about this that came from the voice of customer is people said, man, your Bull Hog heads are great, but I get beat up after being in that thing for 8 hours a day. Well, this machine has a suspension seat. We make 2 versions of it. This is the cross-linked undercarriage. Basically, it's 2 steel reinforced rubber bands with a steel bridge across them. Very soft ride. Instead of like with a dozer or a steel track, when you go over a log, you go like this and down. This will actually go over the log and contour to the log. It's a very soft ride. It's got about a 7 mile/hour top speed. People say 9, but I don't like running it that fast, so I call it 7. It's got emergency exits. This whole front window pops off. There's 4 quick releases in the corners of there. You're not going to get trapped in the machine. You can also go out the back or go out the side door that you enter in. This is 142 horsepower. Delivers 61 gallons a minute at 6,000 PSI. So your typical skid steer, Bobcat, I believe, is about 37 gallons a minute. In the 3,500 PSI range, somewhere around there. So you've got almost twice the flow at almost twice the pressure. And you'll see when he starts it up. For this environment, I think the crosslink undercarriage is okay. For where I was in Antimony yesterday, where it's boulders and rocks and all that, I'd recommend the steel undercarriage. Again, 2 versions of it. This has got air conditioning. For those of you who have operated the compact track loaders before, you tend to operate by sound. You know when you're getting into something too big, you can hear it, okay? That's the one thing I did not like about this machine when it first came out. It's so quiet in there. You cannot hear the head running and grinding down. So I was a little apprehensive when we prototyped this machine. I'm like, I can't gauge my work by sound, which is what I'm used to doing. A couple hours in the machine, you don't need that sound anymore. And it's nice to be able to get an emergency phone call and know your phone's ringing. You can, not that I recommend it, but you can talk at a normal level on your phone in this machine and hear it all day. It's comfortable to operate all day. That was another thing from our voice of customer. So productivity, serviceability, comfort are the 3 key factors. Also, if you'll notice on this head, Daniel's machine on the PTO head, all the teeth are straight across in a line. This is one of our newer heads where we've staggered the teeth, 1 forward, 1 back, 1 forward, 1 back. Gives you a little more bite per horsepower per tooth.
I'll fire it up and lift it.
Give me 1 second, Daniel. And then if you notice the skid shoes, on Daniel's machine it was kind of more squared off there. We've now rounded that so you don't plow the ground if you're going to ride across the top of the ground. Those 2 things, again, came from customer suggestions. We love hearing from our customers. This has a variable displacement hydraulic motor in the head. That sounds a little technical, but basically what it means is as you come into something that's maybe a little too big initially, and that rotor starts to slow down, and for those of you who've operated this and you stall it, well, this one's probably not going to stall. It's going to shift to its larger hydraulic displacement setting and provide more torque, more power to torque on through some of that bigger stuff. So some of the changes over the past few years that we've incorporated. Go ahead and start it, Daniel, if you would. Daniel spoke about the counter combs earlier in the head. If you want to take a look at them, see those metal spikes in the back there? That's what works as an anvil. Material's drugged back through there and shredded. There's a line of them straight across the bottom, and then that geometric design that Daniel was talking about helps to distribute the material across the mill. Push bar, this is a 3-position push bar. If you're felling larger trees, you can move this down to this position. It'll tilt the push bar forward, and you'll go into the tree, fell it, and then mulch it. In this application with pinyon juniper, I like it to be in this position because your teeth can expose right into it. We also offer a trapdoor, a hydraulic trapdoor option. It's a good option if you want a park-like finish. If you're doing a customer's backyard or something like that. For this type of application, I don't recommend it. I guess if there's any questions before Daniel gets started.
Let's fire up. We're gonna go that way, guys.